No, I said, it doesn't bother me. I was used to it long ago. Now and again I have expressed the opinion that every nation, and even every person, would do better, instead of rocking himself to sleep with political catchwords about war guilt, to ask himself how far his own faults and negligences and evil tendencies are guilty of the war and all the other wrongs of the world, and that there lies the only possible means of avoiding the next war. They don't forgive me for that, for of course they are themselves all guiltless, the Kaiser, the generals, the trade magnates, the politicians, the papers. Not one of them has the least thing to blame himself for, not one has any guilt. One might believe that everything was for the best, even though a few million men lie under the ground. And mind you, Hermann, even though such abusive articles cannot bother me any longer, they often sadden me all the same. 2/3 of my countrymen read this kind of newspaper, read things written in this tone every morning and every night and every day, worked up and admonished and incited and robbed of their peace of mind and better feelings by them, and the end and aim of it all is to have a war over again. The next war that draws nearer and nearer, and it will be a good deal more horrible than the last. All that is perfectly clear and simple. Anyone could comprehend it and reach the same conclusion after a moment's reflection, but nobody wants to. Nobody wants to avoid the next war. Nobody wants to spare himself and his children the next Holocaust, if this be the cost. To reflect for one moment, to examine himself for a while, and ask what share he has in the world's confusion and wickedness. Clearly, nobody wants to do that, and so there's no stopping it, and the next war is being pushed on with enthusiasm by thousands upon thousands, day by day. It has paralysed me since I knew it, and brought me to despair. I have no country and no ideals left. All it means is another decoration for the gentlemen who usher in the next slaughter. There is no sense in thinking or saying or writing anything human, to bother one's own head with thoughts of goodness. For 2 or 3 men who do that, there are thousands of papers, periodicals, speeches, meetings in public and in private, that make the opposite their daily endeavour and succeed in it too. Hermann had listened attentively. Yes, she said now. There you're right enough. Of course, there will be another war. One doesn't need to read the papers to know that, and of course one can be sad about it, but it isn't any use. It is just the same as when a man is sad to think that one day, in spite of his utmost efforts to prevent it, he will inevitably die. The war against death, dear Harry, is always a beautiful, noble and wonderful and glorious thing, and so it follows in the war against war, but it is always hopeless and chaotic too. That is perhaps true, I cried heatedly, but truths like that we must all soon be dead and so it is all one and the same, make the whole of life flat and stupid. Are we then to throw everything up and renounce the spirit altogether, and all effort and all that is human, and let ambition and money rule forever while we await the next mobilisation over a glass of beer?